it doesn't have to be big one. You start with that small, you gain that confidence so that you can see how you can extract other systems which can be simple and get that value add and stack one on top of another, and eventually your business will transfer one day, you will not even realize.
Hello, it's David Jennings, and I'm here to shine a light on some of our clients and their stories to help inspire other business owners. And I'm here with Vikram Shetty from 73bit.com. Maybe just as a way to start, Vikram, I don't know if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and what you guys do.
We have a product called as Probench. It's a proprietary thing that we have. We serve specially for in the space of ESG and sustainability. So
Yeah.
we help our clients to do corporate sustainability benchmarking and assessment. So normally our clients are either think tanks, big non-profits, research organization who are kind of either working a particular sector or the entire industry on responsible investment, responsible fashion, access to nutrition, and all the SDG goals, if people are aware about it. So
Yeah.
what we our software does three primary function. It's help them to collect non-financial data, which is sustainability data, do some basic statistical scoring on top of it automatically, which we can configure the scoring. And the third part is create scorecards and reports and dashboards based on the data collected, and we can benchmark for peer sector benchmark, region benchmark, and all. So normally our clients are domain specialists in ESG, and we come as a technology partner and we service them with our product. So it's a SaaS based product, but then because we also work with non-profit and also we have different variation, so we kind of support them with customization and all. But we our focus is purely from ProBench, so that's
Yeah.
what we have.
Perfect. And how long have you guys been around for, at least with this part? Because it sounds like you've been in business for a good number of years, but how
Right.
with this one?
So from day one, the product was the same. The company is started in 2007. We
Yep.
acquired the company in 2015-16. We are still in the same space. So we have identified the niche. Like we know the riches are in the niches, and we
Yep.
have stuck to it. We could have done a common dev shop, but we focused it. Uh, we are bootstrapped, so we the growth, the trajectory was a bit slow, but we were always profitable and we always
Yeah.
focused on our space. Our TAM is a little less, but still we are trying to figure out. And I just want to plug in systemology. Like the CCF thing kind of unlocked it for me, like because we have different variation of version of our client. The CCF kind of focused me to kind of pick one particular slice of product packaging in a way that
Yeah.
we can offer, and then we might be able to increase our target market in that space, and maybe we can focus. So, but from day one, we have been very focused on this niche.
Yeah, I love it. And as you've grown, because you said you sort of grew organically, how many team members are you at the moment?
We are 25 team members, including
Yeah,
the, and we have two founders, co-founders.
yeah, fantastic. And I'm curious, like you mentioned eMyth earlier, how did you come across Systemology? Was that reading the eMyth first and then Systemology, or was it
Uh,
Systemology then eMyth?
so first, so I've read email almost I think 10 times till
Yeah,
like in last 15 years now. I always like it. It's a good read it itself for
yeah,
non-business owner as well. I think the story hits you if you have any bug in you. Then as a part of it, as you know, we are always had an ad hoc system. So one of the system that we have, like we are focusing on culture, so we have something called as a culture call,
mm,
which is the name is not so fancy, but what we do is for the whole year, the idea is I speak to each member of my team once a month, non-work related. So that's the start, the essence of that system. So in a year I talk to each one member 12 times a day. So I just wanted to help them to understand the culture of what is work, and then why culture is important, what team. So each year we used to pick a topic. So last year we started this, and last year the topic was time management, and this year the topic, with popular demand, like they picked the topic, so I don't,
Yeah.
it's not top down, and they picked system as a
Yeah.
topic. Now I would say I'm a student of systems, so I'm a practitioner, but I was not sure if I can structurally explain them step by step. So I started doing my research. Like eMyth was a book, but eMyth was a little more on a 30,000 feet level. Like it was very abstract. I wanted something a little more step by step, and I started searching. Went into Amazon and put the word system and search all the bestseller, and your book came on the top. And I picked 7 books in
Yeah.
and around system, and yours was the one. And I ended up only picking 2 books, and one of which was yours because of the steps that was uh, in it, and that's how I got familiar with it. And this whole year I've been trying to explain, or trying to practice. We have taken one CCF as a flow and explained
Yeah.
them what is a CCF, and trying to extract the first system. Like I've created subsystem, given
Yeah.
each individual a subsystem, and kind of extracting it. We are in an extraction process. And the one of the aha moment that I mean, I just did it on my own. But one of the aha moment was that the product the scorecard is the product that I picked up.
Yeah.
And I thought like my team knows exactly what are involved when we are serving our clients, or the delivery bit of it. But I was so surprised to know there are certain thing that they know, but they couldn't understand while in it. And once they documented it, they realize why we picked it and how these pieces are connecting. So yeah, that's how I came across systemology.
Yes. Have you found, like, have there been other uh, insights or tips that you've picked up along the way? Like, I love your idea of having a regular touch base with
Right.
team member, and the idea of focusing in then on the critical client flow. Has been anything that you've done that's just worked very well with your team as a way to get them on board?
Right. So yeah. So one thing that so the thing with the system is, it's like abstraction. Either you get it or you don't get it. You can't,
Yes.
like you it's like swimming or something. Like you can't
Yeah.
make them swim. Like they have to swim and they get it. Like, and you will not know exactly when they get it. You will know if they don't drown, they are swimming properly. But that transition is a bit difficult, and if you are an instructor, it can become very challenging. So one thing I was sure from day one is, I used to give assignments. So once I made, it was not only talk. You have
Yeah.
there was every 2 months there is an assignment, and they have to complete the assignment. And because I've been a part of a lot of coaching program, I know it's not about the knowledge, but how you implement it, how you practically create it, that makes the real difference. And that's where the learning is, because once they do it, they will have the real questions, and I would be able to either address it, or we can discover what the answer could be. And that is where one thing I decided, that the people who will not do the assignment, I will remove them from the entire process. So
Yeah.
it's not a free pass till the end of the year, and you can just sit and talk to me and do it. You have to do it. And what I found was, people who got it, they were putting in more the effort,
Yeah.
and the speed of it was increasing very fast, and the laggers, they were dropping off. But they they feel the opportunity missed. Now
Yeah.
I've got group of people who are fast, and now they are kind of collaborating with each other, and they are the champions in the way. They are not the system champions. For those who don't know system champions, go read the book. They will. That's a technical difference here, but they are in the champions in their rallying the system thing, and they. I have this bi-monthly call where everyone comes in and they kind of share their experiences and all. And I have seen that the people who rally it, only those people are invited in this call. It's a special group in that sense. And the kind of questions that they come up and the kind of answer, the team only gives the answer. That thing I found like it kind of made it more organic, and I don't have to kind of push, or I don't have to put a lot of energy. It's very organic, and I've seen that like initially you need like few people who kind of are ready to take that plunge, and you cannot make the whole transformation. So that's my insight, if I can say. I don't like it,
Yeah.
but that's
No,
the
no,
truth.
I love that. And have you thought much about when new team members come on board? Like,
Right, right. Brilliant question. So what we also have is all these calls are getting recorded. If there are any special call which has the very values there sequence, I've created a document. It's a Google Doc, like so.
yeah,
So I've kept it. So people have access to all the work that people are doing, so that they are not participating, but they can read on their own. And there are this weekly or whatever this monthly call, so all that access is there. So team is getting access. One thing I have, this is personal decision, I've seen that what happens with the new member is there is a two level of jump. Firstly, they are getting used to their day to day work, so they have to do the business part of it, and they are just settling it. We have a very open culture, we have a learning culture, like uh, that's very known, but it takes a little bit of time to people to understand because they have come from a place where if they miss something they are getting scolded, or like they are not happy. By the time they realize, it takes a little bit of time. So
yeah,
what we have thought is we only get people entered into the culture call or the system after a certain period of time, where they kind of first get their feet in ground. And in order to implement them on day one, the lead or the manager in our case, they already practice certain systems which in our day-to-day business, so they are the beneficiary of it. So we don't teach them what a system is. We tell them these are the set of checklists, or these are the set of SOPs that you need to follow. If you get stuck, these are the point of contact you. So they kind of get into it as a part of system. So like anyone who joins us, first 2 months is their training system. So there is a set of way we train our people. Like they have the skills, but they need to understand our product. They need to understand our Scrum methodology and whatever our software development practices that we have for. And after 2 months, they are getting into the work, and they are kind of getting their ropes. And that's how. So first they are
mm,
kind of a beneficiary, or they are participant in the existing system that we have, which is ad hoc in many ways, as you have 4 levels. So we are not at the saleable level yet, but we are, I think, at least I would say in between scalable and the at
yeah.
borderline somewhere there. I'm pretty confident, and that's how we do the transition bit. And once we understand that, and then once they get it, the people who are getting the system, they don't leave it. Then everything is system, everything is challenged, the decision matrix is followed, and yeah, I mean, I can go on and on.
As that culture changes, and this sounds like this is how you do things now, and that this is part of your business culture, have
Right,
you started to notice any changes or any wins, or like, is the
right.
team more efficient, or can they look after themselves more, or do they, yeah, any insights?
Yeah, so one of the most successful system that we have implemented, which is not no secret in software world, which is the sprint. So we have a 3 week sprint. A quick summary of sprint is there is a development cycle of 3 weeks. The what we are going to do is decided on first day, and only that work is getting done, and clients are getting updated. That's a sprint. So it took us some time to implement that system, but we have a velocity which is very rock solid. Like anyone in my team can back that. So which
Mm,
means that if we say our client, you are going to get feature A, B, and C in this sprint, come what may, they are going to get with the quality and the standards, because we know our velocity. So if it exceeds, our current velocity is 25, so if it exceeds that, we kind of drop it and we say the client upfront. So there are certain areas of work which we have kind of formulated that, okay, this is 45 velocity work, so it needs to be split in three sprints and all. So that is something that we have, we would say we have kind of owned it now. So if
Yeah.
we also know, if you have junior members, then even if you have a capacity is 25, if you have only junior member working in that sprint due to whatever reasons, if there is some change, so we are not able to take more than 10 velocity, because we know the capacity of our junior members. But if there is one senior member, the velocity goes on increasing because the design and all on the hand holding
Yeah.
and stuff. So that control that we have, so it has done two things. Firstly, we know for how much work capacity we have. So if we have multiple clients, so we tell them that this is our calendar and these sprints are already booked already. So your chance might get on the fourth sprint. If you want to book it, you book it right now, or it might go like, this is genuine, whatever best quality. Secondly, uh, the the value piece of it. So we are not, we are pricing by story points. So we have kind of attached the value to it, and it also helps us to forecast our revenue in a way. So doing the same kind of work with more predictability, more good standards, this one system is kind of our core. And uh, it's not that we cannot build more system, but the beauty of this system is everyone in the company gets it,
Yeah.
everyone in the company understand the value of it, nobody challenges it. If client challenges to us, then everyone in the team, or at least in the senior people, know what answer to do, why we do this. And if they are not happy, we can't work together, and we let go. We are here for the long game, so we know, like, this is what we don't want to give you bugs and make you lose. And also, one of our USPs, we don't charge for the bugs that we create, so it is free, and there is no warranty phase as such. Like, if we have created something, if we have delivered it to you, and if it has a problem, we will fix it, no questions asked, no money asked.
What I love is that's such an essential part of you delivering your service, and you've nailed that piece, which enables you to manage expectations, reduce the risk, and means that oftentimes you can over deliver for the customer. Before you really dialed that system in, was that something that was just sitting in your head that you were managing, or like, or
Yeah.
like, how was it getting handled before, or was
So
it not?
it was not getting handled, to be very
Yeah.
honest. So earlier, if earlier we used to do project wise. So if some project would run for 3 months, some project would run for 2 weeks, some project would run for 6 weeks. And in that, managing people's holiday would become bit difficult, because you can't predict if someone is going getting sick 3 months from now or not. So right now, what happens whenever a work card, we don't like, even if it's a big project, we say that what can be done in one sprint. So we work sprint by sprint, which becomes very manageable. In fact, in that case, we have like, technically, I've been doing Scrum since almost 20 years now, so I know how it works. But for this particular thing, we have hired an external agile coach to kind of review step by step, because I always found, like, I I have become an entrepreneur by books, coaches, and videos, YouTube, and like, these are my source. I've not gone to I don't have business degree. I don't have an MBA or any sort. So I've always found, when you have an external accountability head or a coach kind of a thing, where we have worked with that person for 3 months, where that
Yeah.
person have kind of sliced and diced each part of it. And uh, like, if we have to add test how the TDD, which part of the week the TDD should start, what are the how the quality checks for a TDD, if it is valued or not. It's not just a tick box service or something. So all those was kind of crystallized, and it took us quite a bit time to kind of shape it to the maturity that it currently has. But that's how what the transition
Mm.
was done. And then later on, once that was done, we were still charging them hourly or project basis. But then we kind of, because of that system, it gave us the leverage to even change the pricing on value pricing. And that's kind of not only helped us to manage it, but make it more profitable also.
Wow, I love that insight, and I think there's a key takeaway there for anyone who's listening is this idea of it's one of the core philosophies of systemology. First, capture what you're currently doing. That becomes the base
Yeah,
level, and
yeah.
then what you shared there, Vikram, was you're kind of talking about the optimize phase for that particular process when that then becomes the shortcut, then hiring the consultant who knows how to make that world class come in, re-engineer it, and then put it back in the machine. So I love the way that you articulated that, because that's a perfect example.
In fact, I will take this one step further. The core thing that's why I love the book in the way is now I'm kind of the current experiment that I'm running, or the current work that I'm doing, where we are critical client flow, the scorecard piece that I'm trying to do. I want to kind of create this system in a way where I can open up a sales pipeline where I have a continuous inflow of new client who we can fulfill on, not on a larger scale, but at even a smaller scale, but I want to scale it, like where we can kind of give services to maybe 4 clients a month continuously for an year. So that adds another 40 to 48 clients. That kind of change the business dynamics altogether. The delivery, the system is there. Our product is rock solid to handle these kind of things. So if I can do that transition on the front end also, because the back end is almost kind of, it will keep on growing. There is the optimization and the improvement is a never ending. It's like a lifestyle. Like you
Yeah,
just can't go gym for a month and be healthy for the rest of life. The system mindset is the same thing. It's a business mindset. You have to keep on doing that, and so that you can keep growing, you can keep adding new technologies. I mean, the AI world is exploding, so we would
yeah,
like to leverage that piece as well into our business model and our servicing and all. But once you have this space, time, and approach from the front line, that will also kind of help us. And that's where I'm specifically for this experiment, I'm using the steps in the books to do that part of it.
yeah, perfect. Well, I think in the tail end, I don't know if there's any final things that you'd like to add. Yeah, I
Sounds good.
just like to say a huge thank you for uh,
Right.
your time, and we can point people to the 73bit.com. I know you've got a podcast over there, so I
Right.
don't know if you want to give us a shout out for that, and then if there are any final things you'd like to leave us with.
I mean, I will leave it to with the very simplest thing. So for people who who get scared with the word system, like because people get scared, it's also my plugin, it's also my the thing that I want you to go and reach. But I've used system for that as well. So the thing I'm talking about is my podcast. We have already recorded 98 episode. I'm 2 episode away from 100, and I have a well articulated system in which
Yeah,
I invite my guest, I start my recording. In fact, the style of how David record this video and my style is almost similar. Mine is only audio only. So if you have any people who are in the space of ESG sustainability and they are looking for a broader idea, go to 73bit.com/podcast, and it will take you to the our podcast, and you can share it with them. And we are not selling anything there. It's pure community building, and it's only knowledge sharing. What David is trying to do here, at a very smaller scale, we are also trying to do that. So there is no back end. There is even in the city of that is to only promote that podcast. So that podcast has a lot of guests in the space, university experts and business expert, everyone is there. So that's the only thing that I want to share. And uh, the reason I told system to use that I'm so confident that I can run. I've been publishing episode every week for last 1 year. You can check the timeline there, and not a single week was missed. And I'm so confident now. I'm on the verge of arrogant. I don't want to go there, but I'm so confident that I can do this for the next 10 years without
yeah,
missing a day, because that system is so well versed. Like it's practice. I've done this for more than 50 times, and it doesn't have to be big one. You start with that small, you gain that confidence so that you can see how you can extract other systems which can be simple and get that value add and stack one on top of another, and eventually your business will transfer. One day you will not even realize. So that's it.
Yeah. Well, I think I just love you being a shining example for other business owners. You're a little bit further down the track. You've built a systems culture, and once you see it, you
Yeah.
can't unsee it. Like, no matter what business you end up building, this is now just how you do things. And I love just the way that you explain it. Like, that's very clear to me.
That's also a function of a system. I've been explaining this the whole year to
Yeah.
25 members. For
Yes.
you can understand, I'm about it's month 9, so already I think 250 times I've been explaining this to all my team members. So this is the output of that.
That is the best. I feel like that's a good takeaway for people, almost like to make sure it goes into your DNA. So,
Absolutely.
thank you
Absolutely.
so much for your time, Vikram.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to share our story. And it was really a pleasure to be in this podcast.